Howdy Banger fans, Blayne Smith coming at you for another Overkill Reviews, Banger's weekly metal review show. Hey, so earlier this year we had Destruction, now another one of the German thrash titans is bringing us a new album. This time it's Kreator. Let's have a listen. Yes, it's the new album from Kreator called Über Alles. It came out June 10th on Nuclear Blast. So we've actually been talking a lot about this over on our Twitch channel, because yes, we're on Twitch now. We debate metal, we debate metal albums, we debate metal artists. We've been talking a lot about thrash over there. We've been talking about American versus German thrash, kind of comparing the two, mentioning the, the big three of German thrash, sorry, Tankard, versus the big three of American thrash, sorry, Anthrax. And yeah, Kreator is quite the force. Forming or becoming Kreator in 1984. They would then release 5 classic albums in 6 years. Quite the debut. Over the years, they've had some ups, they've had some downs, but like a lot of the Germans, they've managed to avoid the massive disaster albums that some of the American thrash counterparts have produced that will be endlessly memed into oblivion. This time, we're mostly got the same lineup, except we've got Frederick Leclerc on bass. Other than that, yeah, they've had the same lineup for the past 20 years with the rest of the band, so you know them. And yeah, it has been a pretty strong 2020 for German thrash. Sodom released Genesis XIX, which I think is their best album in years. Absolutely awesome. And Destruction just released Diabolical a couple months back, which was not quite on Genesis XIX level, but very fun. So, we've got 2 at the table. What is Kreator bringing to the potluck? Did they make some homemade pulled pork, or did they stop by the grocery store and pick up a lame veggie platter on the way? And unfortunately, it looks like we're getting celery and without even any dip. The singles had me so optimistic. I mean, who doesn't love dirt bikes? Unfortunately, it seems like this time out, Kreator's sort of trying out like a thrash meets epic heavy metal thing, and the results, no bueno. The main problem this album has is it's pretty much just choruses. The songs are very much dominated by them. The verses are very small, and it's not because the songs are short either. The songs are all 4 to 5 minutes long, but the majority of that is taken up by choruses, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the choruses also feature a lot of repetition within them. I mean, you've got hate Über Alles, hate Über Alles, hate Über Alles. All right, I am the killer of Jesus. 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 It's another one. Us against you, us against you, us against you. Okay. Become immortal, become immortal. Oh my God. Dying planet, dying planet, dying planet. Oh my God. The fight goes on. Our fight goes on and on. The fight goes on. I'll tell you what goes on and on. This album, yeah, those are all separate choruses. Every time there was a break, that was a different chorus, and that wasn't me editing out words or cherry picking. That's the main substance of a lot of these choruses. And it wouldn't be so much of a problem if it was, what you kind of would figure Kreator would be doing with choruses like that and having them fast blasts, which is what we got out of the singles. But, oof, the back 9 of this album. Get ready to feel like you're watching golf. There's no better example of this than Become Immortal. I mean, just, I don't know, man. Did you want more mid-tempo Kreator. That's not really what I'm here for. I mean, it's German thrash. The whole fun of German thrash versus American thrash is like the wild, unrestrained intensity. And yeah, they're very restrained. And there's just also some really unfortunate decisions that you, again, I don't want out of a Kreator album. Midnight Suns features some, like, gosh, it's hard to explain. I mean, the best way I could put it is like robotic angels singing, some lady robotic angels singing with them, and yeah, I don't know, like clean digital female voices are not, again, what I'm coming to Kreator for. It sort of sounds like they're tying it into the end of the previous track, Conquer and Destroy, which is also a little weird, and then it sort of ties into the incredibly useless intro track. There's a minute intro track. It's, you know how I feel about intro tracks. This one, I feel like, will bother anybody. It's especially egregious, a massive waste of time. Yeah, so those three songs kind of feel like there's like this through vibe of, I don't know, like a slightly sci-fi soundtrack storyline, but it doesn't really go with the rest of the album, and the singles, like I said, kind of just sound more like classic Kreator, so it's really just like, is there a little strip of caramel in this ice cream, or was that an accident at the factory? Well, that was quite negative, but there's two reasons for that. One is because it's Kreator, so if I think in my head, I want to listen to a Kreator album today, I have to decide between listening to 5 classics minimum and this, and so like what is going to stand up against it from this, and it's like, oh, it's not a good use of my time. But at the same time, I mean, it is still Kreator, so when they're Kreator and they just decide to be Kreator, they are still Kreator, and it's still awesome. You know, like with Demonic Future, which is what should have been the album closer, the whole song, have a listen. This 40-year-old well-oiled machine, still, the record sounds good. It's recorded well. It's produced well. Everybody's playing their instruments well. Everybody's doing a good job at what they're doing. It's just, frequently, I wish they were doing something different. Petros's voice is still fantastic for German thrash. The slight accent, the slight strain to his vocal cords is so awesome. But when you hear him going really fast, you're like, yes! And then he's doing it more mid-tempo, and you're like, it's not that it's bad, it's just, it's so cool when you do that, so why are we doing that? I just don't understand why more of Hate Über Alles doesn't sound like Hate Über Alles. The first Hate Über Alles was the record, and the second Hate Über Alles was the song, the single. That's confusing, I know, but I want the album to sound like the title track is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, there's still 3 or 4 tracks on here that I'm looking forward to be working into live sets because I'll still go and see Kreator. It's just, unless they just absolutely lost their minds, I don't think Kreator could ever put out a true stinker of an album. I mean, they're just too good at what they do, but this album, they experiment a lot with like epic heavy metal, and it just really doesn't play to their strengths of like speed, ferocity, intensity, craziness, zaniness. You know, this is what I want out of a Kreator record. If you're a mega fan, there's absolutely nuggets you can chisel out from here, but I don't know, it's a lot like eating a pomegranate. It's a lot of work to get those seeds out, and are those seeds better than just eating a raspberry? I'm really hungry. I need to not do these reviews so hungry. So if we're looking at the 2020s season, so far, Sodom for sure in first place, Destruction coming up in second, and sadly Kreator is lagging behind. That's why I gotta give this album 2.5 out of 5 checkered skulls. Have no fear, though. It is shoutouts time, and some of you have commented on the previous videos that the shoutouts were getting shorter. It's just that between the Patreon tip sheet and Metal Monthly and Twitch, you guys are milking me for a lot of bands. My teats, they're getting sore. But thankfully, here I have 4 awesome albums for you, full suite of shoutouts. First of all, it's not thrash, but it's crusty, thrashy death if you're looking for something like that, which I feel like a Kreator fan might be a fan of. To the Dogs released Light the Fires a couple weeks back, and it's been awesome. I've been listening to it a lot. We just had the black metal god Esoctrilihum release Consecration of Spiritus Flesh. If you like weird, intense black metal, that's a record for you. And if that ain't weird enough for you, Bekor Qilish released Throes of Death from the Dreamed Nihilism, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. It's a very strange record. And then to kind of bring it back to a little bit less crazy, we've got Death and Doom and Roll. I don't know if Death and Roll and Doom. Sludgy, deathy, rock and rolly, Yatra's Born into Chaos. So there's 4 shout-outs for you. Full suite, like I said. Please accept my apology for the previous months with me just straight up running out of bands I was stoked on to tell you about. But that's been it. If you like this content, I mentioned the tip sheet. It's on our Patreon. You can support us on Patreon to keep making stuff. You can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/BangerTV, where we're doing Lockhorns every week. You got me, your boy, on twitch.tv/metalcomedy if you want to see some metal after dark style content. That's been it. Thanks so much. Let me know in the comments, were you disappointed? Were you stoked? What are you doing? How's your summer going? I'll get down there with you. I'll read your comments. I'll say hi. What's up?